Hey everyone, it's great to see you. I just love the garden this time of year. The flowers are looking so beautiful and I hope you're really enjoying yours too. The only thing is this time of year I do start to notice a lot of little things that I have to take care of around the garden, and I'm sure that you're noticing those too. Insects, plant diseases, you name it, gardeners have to deal with it. So I thought I would share with you one of the common fungi that you see for hydrangeas, because you know I love my hydrangeas. And this time of year I do start looking at them carefully and going, oh my goodness, I need to treat it with this. And sure enough, that's what's happening. So right here I have two great examples, beautiful hydrangeas, one on my left and one on my right. And these are big leaf hydrangeas. They are after midnight. And they happen to be very susceptible to the fungi Circospora. So sure enough, that's what they have this time of year. So I thought I'd show you what that looks like and what I'm going to do for it. So let's start over here with this particular hydrangea. So first of all, I have to tell you up front, when I bought the after midnight hydrangea, I was warned that it was very susceptible to Circospora. And that is a mouthful, so I hope I can say that correctly for this video. Circospora is a very small type of leaf spot that certain hydrangea tend to get more than others. It is caused by warm, wet weather. That's what it loves. And sure enough, by this time of year, we have the warm temperatures and we've had a lot of rain. So I try not to water from overhead, but you know, I can't help the rain. So certainly the climate is ready for Circospora on these particular hydrangea. I was also told that after midnight really likes the shade, but in order to help prevent the fungus, try to give it as much sun as I can. That's very tricky, a lot of shade and some sun. So I planted them the best I could. And at this time of year, mid to end July, I do start to see those little spots. So this is what Circospora looks like. It is a very tiny leaf spot, and around the edge of those little spots, it's darker, a darker brown or purplish color, and the center of the spots are really very light, almost a white in this case, but sometimes more of a light brown. Now the great news is, this is not probably going to kill your hydrangea. Most of the time, this is just aesthetic. We don't like our hydrangeas to have lots of leaf spots on them, but it's not really going to hurt them. If it got super bad, yes, you might see some leaf drop. You could see some of the buds set on, not as many as normal, but most of the time it just is the spots on the leaves. So what do you do about it? Well, the most important thing is that you don't want this to spread further. You really can't do anything about the spots already on your hydrangea, but you don't want it to spread and you don't want it to overwinter. So as these leaves drop, I'm very careful to clean up under each of these hydrangeas, and when it comes fall and it really drops all its leaves, I will make sure that I get them all swept up. I do not put them in a compost pile. These go separately in the trash in a plastic bag, and I get rid of them. One other thing you can do is you can spray your hydrangea bushes, especially those that are susceptible to Circospora. So what I tend to use, and this is not a sponsored video, is I tend to use a copper fungicide. This is going to fight all of the different fungi that your hydrangea can get. So it also works against a powder mildew, which is kind of nice. It's kind of broad spectrum that way. And I'm not going to spray it right now and show you, because you always want to apply your sprays either very early in the morning or after dusk once your pollinators are asleep so nothing affects them. But the copper fungicide, it won't clear up what's here, but it will help the leaves that aren't infected with that. So it's a good thing to do. It worked really, really well for me last year. Let me show you how the Circospora looks on the other bush. So if you take a look at after midnight over here, you're going to see that there's more of the spots down the bottom, and that's pretty typical for Circospora. It starts down in your bottom leaves and tends to go up. But you see all these smaller little dots with the lighter centers. So once again, I'm not too worried. I'll probably give it a spray. To tell you the truth, this isn't even that bad. I might wait to use the copper fungicide just because I try not to spray it too much. But I want you aware of what this looks like, and don't panic if your hydrangeas end up with some of those spots. Certainly there are some things you can do to make sure it doesn't spread though. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.